What really moves you from the field to the goal line? We just wrapped up our semi-annual 2-day VIP Mastermind training. And in those sessions that we did, they're virtual. They include my marketing director, John. But these are deep dives focused on taking our VIP Mastermind members from the theory of doing business acquisition to the actual execution and ultimately to closing deals. So what do we cover in those 2-day meetings? We have deal pipeline hot seats where each mentee brings their top challenge and we solve it together. One of the things that holds people back the most is fear. So we do fear setting, a framework to turn fear into action, not paralysis. People say, well, I'm not afraid, I just procrastinate. Most of the time you procrastinate because of fear. We introduced something called the one thing, where we narrow the focus of the attendees to what truly moves the needle, the most important thing, and how to use and accomplish that. You have to understand sellers, so seller psychology, understanding what sellers really want and how to earn their trust, really important. Due diligence, and specifically some digital due diligence, which is a crucial, oftentimes overlooked part of modern acquisitions. Due diligence is where you separate those businesses which you really should do from those that have problems and ultimately would cause massive problems for you. Board strategy, super important. So how to put together a board, but more importantly, who should be on that board, and most importantly, how to actually use your board to accelerate deals, how to leverage your board. And then a lot of live role plays. Those are I think one of the most powerful things that we do. You actually build confidence. You're in real situations, as real as we can make them in that. And most of the time people walk away saying, oh, okay, now I know what I did wrong and what I'm going to do. So why does all this matter? You can't afford to stay in learning mode forever. The gap between knowing and doing is where most deals die. Action is critical in this, and knowing what to do is critical. So we build these trainings to collapse that gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it, and through that we accelerate the execution towards doing a deal. So what's the VIP Mastermind include? It includes a weekly Zoom meeting, usually about an hour and a half, with the mastermind attendees. It's a small group. And then we have a private one-on-one monthly session with me, where people can say everything that they're working on, challenges, etc. And it's a private as opposed to the weekly meeting. Access to all the new content and courses that are released during the time they're a member. And then, as was the case this last Wednesday and Thursday, 2 powerful, and they are powerful, virtual intensive training sessions like the ones we just completed. So, if you're serious, I'd encourage you to go over to brucewhipple.com, review the Mastermind program, and then ask yourself, what's the cost of staying on the sidelines another 6 months? There is a pay price to inaction. And just because you know what to do, don't think that that's the same as doing it. If you're ready to finally commit yourself to this process, make it important, and cross the goal line, we're absolutely here to help. John and I in these virtual meetings, and me running the weekly calls and then the private calls. But check out the VIP Mastermind. It's the best program that I run. It's a small group. It is something where you're going to make both a financial and time commitment, so be sure you understand that. But if you're serious about doing this, and had someone this week said, I've looked at your content since 2019, didn't do anything, and he said, it's time for me to get going. And he joined the VIP Mastermind yesterday. So it turns at some point where the information, your preparedness, and then your motivation to do it joins up. And many people at that point say, okay, enough learning, let's get into action, let's do this thing.